food topic on tonight will be simple. It's the 10 Commandments. Okay? So we're going to do a breakdown on it. It's going to be several parts. Tonight, probably just going to get through part of the 10 Commandments, finish the other part, and then go a little deeper into that after that. But we're going to go to Exodus chapter 20. I'm going to read from verse 1, to 7. Okay? I'll have you start. So it won't be too long tonight, but we'll continue to deal with the 10 Commandments so that we have an understanding of what the Most High requires of us. Now, we know the laws extend past the 10 Commandments, but we have to have an understanding of what Moses delivered unto us and what Yahawashi expounded upon. Okay?
Exodus 20, verses 1 through 7. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh thy king, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
So this is the first commandment. The Most High God is speaking to the children of Israel and declaring to them that I am Yahweh that brought thee out of Egypt. Okay, he's announcing to them who he is and that he is, if you look at it on a spiritual level, he's talking to his property or his possession and saying that I have purchased you. You belong to me. I am your purchaser. Okay? I have redeemed you for myself. You belong to me. You are my property. And this is what I require of you as my servants, as my people. Okay? Verse 2, I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. So, because I am your purchaser and I hold the exclusive rights to you as my people, you're required not to go after any other god. I alone own the rights. I own the receipt to you as my people. If you go aside and worship other gods, you will be infringing upon the rights that I have with this receipt. For in I have purchased you and made you my own. You belong to no one else. You are my possession. Okay? So just as you were to purchase a car, right? You wouldn't just give any and everybody free access to drive your car. You wouldn't just toss the keys to some homeless dude and say, go ahead, go for a joy spin around the block. No, but it's your car. So in the same way, he has purchased us and made the children of Israel his own, and he has the receipt, and he is saying to his possession, look, I have the exclusive rights. You cannot go to any other god because they have not purchased you. All right, and so we're going to use evidence in the scriptures to verify that. We're going to go to Exodus chapter 19, verse 4. So we're going to go a chapter back and read real quick. I'll read it. Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. Okay, so the Most High God went into his wallet, and got out his checkbook, and he wrote on his checkbook the amount that it would take in order to make the children of Israel his possession, his inheritance. Okay? And I made the analogy sometime before. It's like, he put us on eagle's wing. It's like he paid not the round trip, but he paid the plane ticket for us to come from out of bondage into his presence. I placed you on eagle's wings to send you to me. I wanted you bad. I needed you to make you my possession. Nobody else's. You belong to me. Okay? Now we're going to go to Exodus chapter 6, verse 6 and 7 as well. Exodus chapter 6, verses 6 through 7. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel, I am Yahweh, and I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. And I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments. I will redeem you. So in Exodus 20, when the Most High is introducing himself and declaring to his people who he is, first and foremost, he's introducing himself. I am the Most High. Okay, I have purchased you. I have a receipt to show the proof of my purchase. I have exclusive rights to you. And because you are my possession, there is a requirement for you to obey everything that I say. You belong to me. Okay? Think about when our people were sold into slavery. When the white slave master purchased us, okay? When he went to the auction block, the slave auction block, and he purchased slave, whether it be a male or female, once he got them to the plantation, he gave them a name, gave them their quarters where they would sleep, and gave them instructions. You belong to me. This is my plantation. This is my slaver. You will obey him. His word is God, but I am the owner. I own you. And every morning you're going to get up and you're going to pick the cotton or do whatever on my plantation. Now, you're not going to go and work for anyone else because I own the rights to you. So as the white slave master had the liberty to do whatever he want with his own property, the same with the Most High God is saying to his people, you belong to me. So you're going to do whatever I tell you to do because I have the receipt here. You are my people. Okay? I redeemed you. Verse 7, I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. So you're going to see the transaction, seeing that I purchased you. I put up the money that no one else was able to put up. If you look at the Leviticus rule for kinsman redemption, you understand that if a Hebrew went into slavery, that a kinsman had to pay money in order to redeem him out of that slavery. Now, all the children of Israel, as the beginning of Exodus says, that they were without number in the land of Egypt. Each of the children of Israel as slaves, that was a lot of money. And Pharaoh refused to let the people go. The payment, the amount on all the souls of the Hebrews that dwelt in Egypt, that amount to purchase them out of slavery was astronomical. But the Most High God had the amount. He said, what? You mean to tell me the children of Israel are available for purchase? Let me get my checkbook. How much you're asking? Oh, I can write that. I got racks on top of racks. Yeah, I'm a purchase. Here you go. I want the children of Israel for myself. You understand? I bore you up on eagle's wings to bring you unto me. I redeemed you to know that I am your God, that I am your slave master. I rule you. I will be your Lord, and you shall be my people. Now, it's not with tyranny. It's not with cruelty, but it's with love and strict adherence to his law. Yes. I will grant you everything your heart desires. All you got to do is obey my law. That's it. You belong to me. You can't run away. You belong to me. Because you can say, I don't want to keep your commandments. You're a cruel God. As Ezekiel 18, your ways are unequal. Mm-hmm. And you run away from the Most High's estate. Oh, I'm going to find you. And I'm going to send my curses out to grab you and bring your behind back. You belong to me. When the white slave master owned us, and we ran away from the plantation, he would sick his slavers out with the bloodhounds, and they would find our behind and bring us back. Okay? And because he paid good money, he wasn't just gonna, well, you know what? I see that you don't want to be here anymore. Just go on. Just go on. No. Nigga, you belong to me. If that means he had to chop off some toes, if he had to dismember you, give you 40 lashes, 80 lashes, whatever it took, because you are my possession. And spiritually, the Most High is saying, you belong to me. And I'm going to treat you any way I want to treat you. You belong to me. All right, from there, we're going to move on to Exodus chapter 15, verse 16. So these are all just confirming that first commandment. Okay? Exodus chapter 15, verse 16. I'm sorry, chapter 15, verse 16. Did I say that? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and it reads, fear and dread shall fall upon them. By the greatness of thine arm, they shall be as still as a stone. Till thy people pass over, O Yahweh, till the people pass over which thou hast purchased. Purchased? Did the Most High God literally say to Moses, go find some gold, Moses, and go give that to Pharaoh and say, no. Spiritually, the Most High said, I'm writing in my checkbook, I'm going to purchase you. You belong to me. Because in reality, the transaction of when he purchased Israel didn't happen on the day of deliverance. It didn't happen before the 10 plagues. It didn't even happen when he declared these things unto Jacob. They didn't even happen when he declared these promises unto Isaac or unto Abraham. These things were declared from the beginning of time. Ezra says that the world was made for our sakes. So we were purchased of old, according to Psalms. We were purchased of old. The Most High purchased us, made us his own. And if we're his property, then we are subject to do what he wants us to do. Okay? All right, so we're going to go back to Exodus chapter 20 and go through these commandments. So we read verse 3, thou shalt have no other God before me, no other gods before me, no other gods. You only are supposed to serve me. Remember, I have the receipt. I have purchased you from the beginning. Okay? Read verse 4.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. So
this is the second commandment. So first and foremost, I am the Most High God. You shall not have any other gods before me. Okay? I purchased you. Okay? Furthermore, you shall not dishonor me by making graven images to worship. Okay? We come into this truth sometimes lacking understanding. We believe that, we can't have pictures, or we can't have garden gnomes, or we can't have little statues. Okay? You got to be very careful because you don't want to give yourself over to worshiping anything. Okay? But it's these little statues and idols that the other that the other nations erected and built as gods. And they worship these things. Okay? They gave themselves service to these idols. And the Most High God is saying, look, I purchased you. You belong to me. I want you to worship me. Okay? I don't want you creating any image in heaven above and earth beneath. I don't want you making no a statue of a turkey and bowing down and worshiping that and saying, oh, holy turkey. No, I don't want you doing none of that. Okay? I'm the Most High. Now that you're my people, we doing things differently. I know when you was in Egypt, the Egyptians had over 900 gods that they worshiped. God of this and God of that. And the priests of Egypt, okay, they would go into the temple and there were a host of idols that they would give sacrifice unto. And I'm sure you, as my people, lacking understanding, went and did some of that stuff. You bowed yourself into Ra and Osiris and Isis and Horus and all the gods of Egypt. I'm sure you did that. But look, I purchased you. You belong to me. We're doing things different. It's a new regime now. Regime. Thank you. We're not doing it the way they did it in Egypt. Okay? Verse 5. So it clarifies, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Okay? It's verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. So it's not simply, I just felt, led in the spirit, so I just went ahead and read it, okay? So, verse 4, again, saying not to make any graven image. It's not just the graven image itself, because we understand the children of Israel made images. All right, they made the cherubim that was to go into the tabernacle, go into the temple. Okay, Moses, built the serpent upon the pole, that if the children of Israel looked upon it, they would be healed. So there were moments in time when the children of Israel would build images, if you will. But the point of this commandment is that you bow not yourself to worship them and to serve them. Now, it's an important thing to bring that out in verse 5. 5 again, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. So when you bow down, you're worshiping, okay? You're showing a reverence, okay? An adulation to this deity, to this idol that you have professed to be a god when you bow down. That's a form of worship. But it says also not to serve them. Serve them. What does that mean, to serve them? That means to create a belief system centered around this God. That your lifestyle is centered around the worship of this deity, of this idol. The way that you speak, the way that you dress, the food that you eat, the way that you conduct yourselves. That's how you serve these graven images. Okay? Which with each God that has ever existed, besides the Most High God, every idol and false god that has ever existed throughout history, there has always been... Oh, you need your help. What's good, Giannis? So whenever there has been any... Jonathan, come on now. Whenever there has been any... Let's go.
Grandma can't get a hug, but Jonathan can.
I can't get a hug. It would have been nice.
Jeremiah was here.
Oh, wow.
Anywho, what was I saying? He threw me off. What was I saying? Every god that ever existed, every false god, every idol in human history, whenever there was an image that a people bowed down and worshiped, they served it as well, meaning there was a religion, there was a belief system, there was a list of do's and don'ts that went along with that false god. Okay? There were holidays, holy days, feast days that went along with it. There was a particular set of rules and conduct that the believers of that particular God adhere to. And the Most High God is no different. Now, he, of course, is chief above all these false gods. There is no God besides him. He's the only one. But the reality is, the Most High God has his own name. He has his own people. He has his own law. He has his own dress code. He has his own diet. Okay, he has his own set of feast days, holy days, and sacrifices and procedures with the sacrifices. All these things pertain to the God of the Israelites and how one ought to serve him, just like the false god. So verse 5 again, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them. So these graven images that you make, okay, thou art not to bow down to them and worship them as a god, nor serve them. Nor serve them. For I, Yahweh thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So if you show reverence to some other entity other than me, then it shows that you hate me. And I'm jealous over that. I'm jealous over that. Why? Because I paid good money to make you my possession. I paid good money. Think again about the white slave master. He was jealous over his property. You gonna run away from my plantation? Give that nigga 40 good lashes. I'm serious. Because he was jealous over his property. Think about the bed wench. One moment. Think about the bed wench, right? He had his white wife, But when the heat of lust came on that slave master, he would walk himself down to the slave shack and try to wear that girl out. And when she despised him in her heart, okay, it made him jealous over her. If he saw that girl had any affection for any other slave, he would have that slave lynched. He was jealous over his property. And the white wife couldn't do anything, but he'd be angry and despise her husband because he had lust for that black girl.
And despise the lynch.
Yeah.
The white wife was.
Yeah, yeah.
Slavery is a good reference to what you're talking about.
Did you want to say something?
Well, you answered my question, just going on.
Okay. So, of course, the Most High is not wicked and perverse like that. But just to get in your mind, this is the way, that's why he's saying, I'm jealous. I purchased you, okay? I purchased you. Don't go after other gods. You belong to me. Okay? Because if you do, I'm going to have to punish you. If I show this much zeal to purchase you and bring you out of bondage, I will go upside your head if I need to, because you belong to me. I will give you 40 lashes. Best believe, because you belong to me. I might have to chop off your big toe. I might just have to do it if you don't adhere to my commandments. We're going to get a scripture to confirm that. All right? Matter of fact, 2 scriptures. I'll have you go to Romans chapter 6, verse 6. I'm sorry, 6, verse 16. Romans 6 and 16.
Okay.
And before you read it, the reality is, for all the Christians, right, who say, how do I say this? For all the Christians that participate in Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter, but then when the Israelites bring out the truth of the origin of these wicked days, you say, nah, I don't worship these gods. I don't worship those gods. I don't do after those customs. You have to understand that when you participate in the feast day, it's connected to a God. Okay? Yeah. When you participate in these things, it's connected to a worship. You're serving that God. Okay? If it's Christmas, it's connected to Saturnalia and the worship of the Roman gods. I don't care what you say. I don't care how you try to rationalize it and no, I just do it for the kids. I just do it for the, it's just, No. Everything you do is connected to something. Okay? Go ahead and read that scripture.
Romans 6 and 16.
Uh-huh.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servant to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
Salakia. So, verse 5 of chapter 20 in Exodus says, thou shalt not bow down to them nor serve them. Okay? So Apostle Paul is saying, don't you know? If you give your members over to serve something, you're connected to it, bruh. You can't say, you can't talk about, you having sex with prostitutes and say you're not committing fornication. No, you have given your members over to that. That's what you do. That's what you serve. Okay, read on.
Whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness.
So if you give your members over to the tenets of a particular religion or movement or whatever, you're connected to that. You can try to, dissect it and say, no, I just do this, so I just, pick and choose. No, if you're doing this, it's connected to that. Whether unto sin or unto righteousness. If you're keeping the commandments of God, then that's connected to the worship of the Most High God. If you do it in righteousness, of course. Think about Solomon. Think about all of the evil kings of Israel and Judah. When they worship God, meaning they went to the temple and they had their sacrifices, but then they also simultaneously had high places and went and worshiped the other gods. You're not worshiping the Most High. You're serving these other gods. You're connected to them. You're having other feast days. That's what Jeroboam did. Jeroboam, thank you. I'm like, I know that didn't sound right, but Jeroboam, he said, nah, man, if they go down to Jerusalem and hearken to the voice of Rehoboam, then surely they're gonna put me to death. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get 2 golden calves and declare to the northern kingdom, look, these are the guys that brought you up out of Egypt. Worship them. And he set one up in Dan and in Bethel. And he created his own set of holidays. Wicked as hell, man. He set up his own holidays. Nah. Y'all don't got to go down to Jerusalem for the holidays. No. Stay up here. I got my own holidays, man. They just as good. Okay? This is what the Most High is warning his people not to do. You belong to me. I am the Most High God. Okay, you shall not make any graven image, nor bow down or serve them. Okay? One more passage. I'll have you go to 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 41 through 47. Okay? 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verses 41 through 47. Again, this is showing that the worship of a God is interconnected with the tenets of that religion, and vice versa. You can't hold on to a tenet and say you're not worshiping the God. It's connected. They're interconnected. If you give your members over, well, I just like this element of this religion, but I don't really worship. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Go on and read.
1 Maccabees 1, 41 through 47. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Salakia. So the children of Israel already have their God. They already have their law. They already have their heritage and customs and traditions of their forefathers. And the nations had their own. But this Greek king is saying, look, everybody, I got my own religion, and I would like everybody to participate in it. So this is what I would like you to do. Discard the traditions of your forefathers. Discard your religion and your God. Get rid of it. Throw it under the bed and worship me and worship my God and follow my religion. That sound all right. What you think? That sound good? Yeah, let's do that. Let's worship the king's God. Okay? And a lot of the Israelites just going behind doing the same crap. Read.
Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Man, you talk about the king want us to do that? That sound all right, man. Let's do that. Yo, should we be keeping the laws of Moses? But the kings look better, though. Like, you see his holiday, Christmas, man, that look fly, man. Let's do that. Look at them outfits they got on. Is that pig? Is that bacon? Man, let's try that. Yo, bro, we supposed to be keeping the commandment of Moses. What's going on? Man, about that. Yo, I've been meaning to tell you, I'm not really down with that. But what the king is saying, I'm liking that. That sound all right. The king all right with me, man. That's how niggas are. Jake. The king all right. Long live the king. Long live the king. Read.
And sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
So the religion of the king caused the Israelites, as well as all the other nations, because they already worshiped their idols, but they forsook their original idols and worshiped this new idol. Okay? But it caused the Israelites, who at one point in time were faithful to the Most High God, they forsook that and started to worship these graven images. Okay? But not only that, with it, not only was it the making of erecting this image and then bowing to it, you'll see here in the scripture that there were more things connected to it. The king didn't just say, worship this image and then you can go home and do your own thing. He said there's a set of holy days, there's a set of sacrifices, there's a particular conduct that goes along with this worship. So it isn't just the bowing down, but it's the serving of these idols, these false gods. When you shall have no other God before me, because I own the receipt. You belong to me. Read.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
The strange laws. Plural. Read.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple.
So give up what Moses instructed you to do and do what the king is saying. I have written letters. This is what I'm confirming to all of my empire, all of my kingdom. Cast away these burnt offerings and all that, because my religion doesn't deal with that. My religion is good because it incorporates everybody. That's not a whole lot like Christianity, don't it? Everybody is doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Christianity is so inclusive. I've mentioned this before. If in my job, I may go into apartments to do different work orders or whatever. You go into the Napoleon apartments, and clearly, they're either Hindus or Buddhists, but then you'll see a huge picture of white Jesus on their wall, right next to Krishna, or right next to Brahma, or right next to Buddha. So it's the same thing as what Antiochus was doing. Okay? Cast off your idols and make my idol the chief idol. Okay? You can do all your stuff after the fact, but do mine first. Mine is all inclusive. This is Christianity. Read.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
So the temple, the synagogues, and the places of worship amongst the Israelites were left destitute. They left them empty, and they built up new places of worship for the king's religion. They forsook their diet and said, let's try eating some of that bacon. Salakia. Them pork chops, look, they smell good. Them pork chops smell good. Okay? They forsook all that. So it wasn't just the bowing down and the worshiping of the idol, but there was a set of changes that came with the worship of the king's religion. Okay? Was that to 48?
You said 47.
I did? Okay. Getting back to Exodus chapter 20, I'm going to read verse 7. We'll finish it out. Thou shalt not take the name of Yahweh thy God in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Okay, so we're talking about taking his name in vain, meaning to speak falsely. Okay? When you look up the Hebrew word for vain, meaning to speak falsely, to be deceitful. Okay, like what the false prophets did in the time of the prophets, when they would tell lies and say the Most High said it. No, don't listen to Jeremiah. No, don't listen to him. The Most High God gonna bless us. That's speaking, taking his name in vain. Speaking lies on behalf of the Most High God. Okay, so we are instructed not to do that. The scriptures say, I believe it's either in Deuteronomy or Numbers, that thou shalt not add to or take away from. So what the Most High God says to do it. And what he says not to do, don't do it. Don't try to switch it up and manipulate. Well, you can do a little. No. What he says to do. And what he says not to do, don't do. Okay? So we'll end it right there and finish up the rest tomorrow. Shalom.